Hello everybody. Thought I'd do a little video again on our thoughts on things. I seen this come across my email from West Virginia Metro News, which, as most of you may know, a lot of you may not know, is now J&J True Outdoor Adventures is on West Virginia Metro News television. And this is from the DNR Commission meeting that was held March the 12th, I believe. And the headlines are: the DNR proposes big and small game recommendations for 2026. Now, I'm going to be reading this off my computer, so I may not be looking up here at you in the camera, but getting it to open up. This is by Chris Lawrence. Come out at 7:54 p.m. on March the 12th. Proposals for the coming big game seasons in West Virginia include minimal changes to the antlerless hunting season, new modifications for bear hunting on the national forest, and a proposal for trappers involving otters. There's also a proposal to modify the mountain air heritage season in the 4 archery-only counties in southern West Virginia. He went on the presentation from the biologist with the DNR's Game Management Division to the Natural Resource Commission during the March 12th meeting, called for 4 changes to the antlerless hunting season for this fall in Wood, Fayette, Raleigh, and Pendleton counties. Wood County is being removed from the special regulation status to a bag limit of 3 antlerless deer. There will be no requirement to kill an antlerless deer before the harvest of a second buck. Pendleton County would be removed to a bag limit of 3 antlerless deer with special regulations after being added to the CWD containment zone. Seems like CWD continues to spread up in the northern panhandle, even though they have all these restrictions they have about hunting and transportation of what you harvest. Biologists propose changes to the antlerless regulations in western Fayette County and western Raleigh counties. In those areas, under the proposal, there would be a limit of 1 antlerless deer. So, from my take on that, in Fayette County, western Fayette County and western Raleigh County, which I believe both counties did not allow doe season during the regular doe season, only the eastern portion of those counties. So it sounds like they're going to have the western parts of Fayette and Raleigh County open to antlerless hunting. We'll just have to wait and see when the regulations come out. The changes to the West Virginia bear hunting regulations are minimal, with only 1 change proposed. The biologists proposed a special lottery hunt for black bears from August the 29th through September the 7th. The lottery for the 10-day hunt with guns would be with or without dogs and would pertain to Mingo, Logan, McDowell, and Wyoming counties. The 4-week gun season in those counties during the month of December would be unchanged from last year. There's a proposal to adapt the mountain air heritage season in those 4 counties where only archery is allowed for deer hunting. The proposal would allow for the use of a percussion sidelock rifle or pistol. Flintlock rifle or pistol be legal for hunting bear and wild turkey in Mingo, Logan, McDowell, and Wyoming counties during the mountain air heritage season, which we all know is in January. Deer during the season in those counties would still only be taken with a longbow or recurve bow. One other proposed regulation change will be for trappers. The the game management unit proposes the limit for otters be increased to 2 per day and a possession limit of 2 per season. The regulation, however, would not be in effect until 2027-2028 trapping season. All the proposed game law changes will be put out for public comment in the sportsmen's sectional meetings. These meetings have been scheduled for March 17th and 18th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday, March the 17th, you have Fairmont at the West Virginia DNR District Office, Alum Creek, Forks of Coal District 5 Office, Parkersburg, the West Virginia DNR District 6 Office. Wednesday, March the 18th, which, this is coming up next week, Romney, South Branch Inn, Beckley at the Beckley-Raleigh County Convention Center, and then at Elkins, West Virginia DNR Operations Center. Sportsmen attending the meeting will also find an additional question on the questionnaire. And this, I think, is going to be basically what that question's about. The director would like to know if you favor or oppose allowing youth hunters and Class Q permit holders to take one antlered buck during the special split youth, Class Q, and Class XS deer season with the following conditions. The antlered buck would count toward the youth and Class Q hunters' maximum annual bag limit for all deer seasons combined. The privilege would be in addition to the daily and season bag limits for antlerless deer already established. Class XS license holders would maintain the privilege to harvest antlerless deer during the special season. This particular change would depend on the modifications to the existing code by the state legislature during the 2027 legislative season. I just recently got my Class XS license, and I don't know if I'm in favor of this or not in favor of this. Myself, I have to do some thinking on it. Yeah, if you've watched our videos, you know how I feel about. I have nothing against youth having their own special little season, but we have one in October, and then we have one in December. I think they have two seasons, if I remember right. And the one in October I don't like because it's right in the middle of bow season. So that's something for me to ponder on. Then that was basically what took place at the DNR Commission Meeting held on March 12th. So we'll just have to stick around and see what happens. The changes doesn't look too bad. I don't know how some people are going to feel about the heritage season in the 4 counties that are only open to bow hunting. Having muzzle loaders, for turkey and bear, I believe it was. Let me look here. Yeah, bear and turkey. Deer would still be bow, but you're restricted. You can't use a compound bow. You can't use a crossbow. You have to use a long bow or a recurve bow. Traditional. That's what heritage season's about, is tradition. So the opening of the doe season in the western parts of Fayette and Raleigh County. I kind of like, but you also know from watching our videos over on our hunting lease what I've said about there's so many doe seasons plus the youth season. Over on our hunting lease, we've seen a decline, to me and Jared and some other of the club members I've talked to, of deer. So, and the total harvest numbers came out a few weeks ago. I didn't do a video on that, but I didn't see nothing else in here about buck limits. I know it would probably take, that came in effect in 2024, 2025, so we've had 2 years already. Hopefully in the next 3 or 4 years, everybody knows I'm a firm believer we need to go back to the 3 buck limit. I should be allowed, all West Virginia hunters should be allowed to harvest a buck in all 3 seasons. And when I say 3 seasons, that's archery, that's rifle, and that's muzzleloader. You should have the opportunity to take a buck in all 3 seasons. By limiting us to 2, you've done away with 1 season. And that's my thoughts. That's Jared's thoughts, and several other hunters I've talked to. I know there's a lot of people out there that says, we need to stay at 2 buck limit, we need to stay at 2 buck limit, and there's a lot that want a 1 buck limit. I'm totally against that. I'm totally against antler restrictions, especially if you put in a width of how wide that rack's got to be. But again, this is just how I feel about things, and I know there'll be some that disagree, some that agree. Keep your comments civil. And with that, we appreciate you watching, and see you in the woods.